For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. All right, loving them tunes. I hope everyone else is out there. Driver's seat. Well, we're not driving on a Saturday night. This is going to be a Tuesday night, but what the heck. Love it. Driver's seat. Hope it puts everybody as good a mood as it does me. And maybe it brings back some memories for some folks out there. Hey, folks, welcome to Crash Course Radio. I'm your host, Peter Crouch. Welcome, everyone. One and the same. Hey, don't forget Collision Service Network, collisionservicenetwork.com. I, of course, am the founder and owner of that as well. We like to say that this is the mouthpiece of collisionservicenetwork.com. All right, that's because we're able to communicate the things that we are doing for you out there. All right, and the things that we are doing is what we've been doing for, well, Collision Service Network is in its 3rd year, and we're on the radio here about 1.5 years. All right, Crash Course. All right, pretty cool stuff. Helping out the folks out there. All right, listen, if you want to be part of the show, this is a live show, 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. Brings you in the studio, talk a little about me, let us know what's on your mind. All right, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Anchor, and Spotify. All right, every place that everyone wants to be is where we're at. All right, thanks to the continued hard work of my amazing media manager there, Anthony. He's also doubling as the engineer here today for us. He just gave us a wink and a nod in there. At any rate, we're going to have a good show here today. All right, going to have a lot of fun. That's what we try and do here at Crash Course. All right, you know, we go with the old question of the day because it is the North Pole here at 103.9 on Crash Course. And Santa Claus is definitely in the house. All right. And listen, we're moving up in the budget area, too. We actually have real sound effects. So when you call in, depending on how you answer the question, you either get a buzzer or you get a round of applause. It's amazing. Listen to that. Woo! Tell you, folks, we just keep improving around here. The format keeps expanding and the budget keeps going up. All right, cool stuff. Thanks. There you go. Thanks for that, Anthony. Appreciate it. Just got back from Florida. It was a lot of fun. Surprised the mom down there. Did a fly-in instead of a drive-by. And it was a lot of fun. See the family, hang out. Did a little bit of a Disney thing, Hollywood Studios. I did the Star Wars thing. Pretty cool stuff. Never been down there and you like Star Wars, you definitely got to check that out. They got all the little creature features walking around there. I got to see Chewbacca, and I got some of the stormtroopers were running us out of town. And the rides are pretty cool, too. Pretty neat stuff. I mean, leave it to Disney, boy. They really know how to recreate. Actually, not recreate, but they actually know how to really create fantasy in the reality. I mean, you actually think you're sitting in this Millennium ship or whatever the heck it is, and you actually feel like you're flying the thing. So pretty cool stuff. You like that? You got to get the Hollywood Studios. All right, Florida was great as always. Had a good time. Glad to be back. Love getting behind this mic every Tuesday afternoon, talking to the folks. Hey, you know, Collision Service Network, you know, our mission, of course, is to support and promote the independently owned and operated auto body industry and all affiliated businesses. All right, but more importantly, what we do behind this mic through Crash Course is we educate and inform the consumer, you folks, right, to your rights, options, and expectations as it relates to an insurance claim, as well as the auto body industry, right? We've talked about that a lot on and off here, about how most of us know where we're bringing our car when it needs something mechanically, right? If I walk up, I do a little of that man on the street business, walk up and just grab somebody nonchalantly and say, hey, you know, you just found out that your car's getting ready to break. It needs a four-wheel brake job. It needs an oil change. It needs a transmission tune-up. whatever it is. And probably 9 out of 10 people would have no problem telling me where they're going to bring the car, right? I'm going to bring it to Uncle Vinny's. I'm going to bring it to, Super John, what have you, right? And most of us can, right? We'll just spout out right off the top of your head. Yeah, I'm going to go here. My family's been having my coffee. But then we grab somebody on a whim and say, oh, man, that guy just hit your car over there. Are you kidding me? No, he just smashed into the whole back of your car. What are you going to do? What do you mean? Well, where are you going to bring the car to get it repaired? And everybody's scratching their head. Right? True. The average goes from 9 out of 10 to like maybe 2 out of 10. It's hysterical, right? It's human nature, I guess. Most people just don't put a lot of thought into that. But what we're doing here, Crash Course, folks, is we're raising your consciousness, right? At least I hope I am, about that issue, right? Because auto body is just as important as that today. All right? It really is. And I don't say that because I've been in the industry for 8.5 years and was an insurance guy for almost 30. But both from a personal and professional perspective, it just really is. You really just can't rely on word of mouth or, well, that guy down the road's got a lot of cars parked in his front yard all the time. He must be good. He might just know a lot of people, right? Or he might be hooked up with a dealer. All right, you really got to know who's fixing your car, how they're fixing the car, all right, and why they're doing what they're doing or why they need to do what they do. All right, it's all important stuff, and that's what we do here at Crash Course. All right, so that is our mission. The mantra, of course, is we are giving you information and knowledge you need and can trust, right? Absolutely. And actually, information and knowledge you need and can use and advice you can trust, right? Never so true. Hey, I got 4 minutes. A couple things we want to get into here. A little more back to the basics. Excuse me there. All right, we're going to get a little more in the back to the basics. There's a couple more things on that wish list there I want to review again with you folks out there. Things that we've touched on and off. All right, but then I want to talk about uninsured motorist coverage. Now, we had one of our attorneys stand in here one day. We had him in as a guest. It was a great show. All right, we got a lot of things on the table, and one of the things we had him address specifically was uninsured, underinsured motorists. Now, I want to get into that in a little more detail here today with you folks, because this is going to be coming from a personal perspective. All right, yours truly, your host. All right, so I'm going to be able to share a very personal experience with this, with uninsured and uninsured motorist coverage. All right, so we're going to get into that as well. All right, 631-451-1039. All right, brings you into the little studio here to talk to me. Folks, if you're in the middle of filing a claim, or if, God forbid, over the weekend you had a fender bender and you're scratching your head and whether or not you got to call the insurance company, or whether you're going to pay out of pocket, all right, give us a call here, all right, because we do help folks in making that decision, all right, and it's obviously it's an economic decision as well as a professional one, right? And as I've explained here before, if you've not gotten involved with the insurance industry, listen, it always was kind of like this mystique out there, right? This mysterious thing. Who are the insurance guys? Anybody know them, right? Nobody ever knew anybody from insurance. All you know is you write that check every month to pay your premium. But I can honestly say, I think today, now again, I worked in that industry, right? I was a claims professional. I am a licensed adjuster still. But I really think, on a personal note, not even forget the professional experience in that, but I really think on a personal note, I do really believe it is a complicated and and somewhat intimidating process. If you've never been through it, right? The big old bad insurance company, right? Make sure you got to call them up, you got to talk to them. Oh my God, what do I tell them? Do I tell them exactly what went on? How do I tell them? Do I listen to them? Should I listen to them? Right? The answer to that. The answer is no. You don't want to listen to them. You want to listen to us. All right. But at any rate, really, seriously though, folks, if you're that guy or that girl, all right, or somebody and you're in that position right now, give us a call here at 631-451-1039. All right. Let's see if we can help you make the right decision, or maybe set aside some concerns and some trepidations you might be having. All right. And like I said, it's economics too. A lot of people come into my shop, folks. Remember, I'm not just an academic here. I'm doing this every day. I work in V&J Auto Body, who, of course, is one of our amazing sponsors. All right. And I see this on a daily basis. Folks come in, I want to pay out of pocket. Nobody has any idea. All right. It's a petroleum-based industry, folks, and I don't got to talk any more on that. All right, 54 seconds left. A little too short. When we come back, we're going to hit it with the question of the day, all right? We're going to have a lot of fun today. All right, I got a good one. I dug up a real good one. All right, so we're going to have some fun with that. And then we'll start digging into some of the subject matter. And then I got some stack of stuff, because that's just what I do. All right, there's driver's seat coming back. Hopefully everybody's grabbing the steering wheel right now, rocking out. All right, I'll see you on the other side of the break. I'm holding the headphones, rocking. I feel like a music DJ in here. I love it. All right, everyone, welcome back to Crash Course with your host, Peter Crouch, a humble host. Welcome to the show, everyone. Hey, listen, if you've been following the show from the beginning or intimately, thank you very much. Appreciate your support. All right, I hope we keep helping the folks out. But if you've been following the show, thank you very much. Your continued support is welcome, and please keep spreading the word, all right, because we're doing, I think we're doing God's work here, right? We're helping a lot of folks out. Yes, love it, doesn't get any better than Anthony there in the engineering room. I love it. Thank you very much, Anthony. But seriously, folks, that's what we do here, Crash Course, all right? We are, informing you, educating you, and I think it's important. I spent almost 30 years in the insurance industry, and like I said, you've heard it before, I'm 8.5, will be 9 years at the end of July in the collision side, all right? And there just doesn't seem to be enough good information out there when it comes to these two things, all right? Auto body and insurance, all right? And, you can debate the reasons why till the cows come home. So I thought this was a niche that needed to be filled, and I think we're doing a good job of that, right? And we're reaching folks, and hopefully the folks that we reach, you're going to be, better for it, smarter for it. So continue to spread the word, all right? Tell your friends, family, co-workers, associates, enemies. Tell everybody that you touch, to tune in, give us a shout, give us a listen, and I'm sure you'll walk away scratching your head going, wow, I never thought about that. All right. So on that, let's get right to the fun part of the day here. All right, we're going to roll out the question of the day. Let's have some fun. All right, like I said, it is definitely Christmas time here at 103.9 when Crash Course is in the house. We love giving stuff away, free stuff. All right, 631-451-1039. All right, folks, we got a lot of roads on Long Island, right? Well, we got a lot of history on some of these roads, too. And one road in particular has a real lot of history, colorful history. All right, now some people are going to know it, I'm sure, but you're probably not going to know the full extent of it. So, putting everybody's thinking cap on, we're thinking about roads, famous roads on Long Island, roads that were built by somewhat famous people for a very specific reason. What was America's first road built specifically just for the automobile right here on Long Island? Again, right? You only get this stuff on Crash Course Radio, folks, I'm telling you. I dig this stuff up for you so we can, talk about it and laugh about it here. But all serious, this is pretty cool. I mean, this is Long Island, right? It's where we live. And, we have some rich history of our own. We talk about the racing, right? We talked about some of the famous race car drivers that were present here on Long Island, right? Islip Speedway. So now we're going to talk about our roads, right? I took a look at it. I'm like, let me look. Is there anything? And my engineer's got an answer up on the thing. That's not it. It's not Robert Moses Causeway. Although that is a famous road. Very good, Anthony. That is a famous road. This road is specifically famous, though, for the reason of, all right, and I thought this was so cool, okay, that this road was the first road in America that was built specifically for just the use of automobiles. Now, again, put your thinking cap on this. We're going back, early 1900s. Think about what was going on in America, right? Cars were just starting to get, common, or not common, but cars were just starting to really make their debut. right? They were starting to show up, but there were a lot of other things going on, right? There were bicycles, there were horses, there were horse-drawn carriages, yada, yada, yada. So there's the question of the day. Let's get some participation. Love to give free stuff away. All right. The phone number again is 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. Give us a shout. Let me hear an answer. What was the country's first road built just for the automobile right here on Long Island? It's a road. You know what it is, folks. It's a very common road, a very famous road here on Long Island. It's a very well-known road, but it was actually a famous road because it was the first road built specifically just for automobiles. And I'm going to give a little more of a hint here because I like to give free stuff away. It may have had a connection to racing at some point. All right, 631-451-1039. That sets the tune for that. And looks like we got our first caller here. We got Jeff from Aquabog. Jeff, welcome to Crash Course. You want to give it a shot?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Vanderbilt Motor Parkway.
Motor Parkway, we got a winner. Cue up those applause. All right, Jeff. Very good. Very good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. I was so surprised. You know, my cousin grew up in Ronkonkoma, and we were out there all the time in the 70s. You know, it was very boonyish out there. I mean, a lot of woods. And Motor Parkway, you know, we always were told that, it was a race car. And, you know, as a kid, I'm like, race car? Who's racing on this thing? But
Mr. Vanderbilt.
Bingo. There's the other part, Jeff. I tell you, we have the smartest listeners here. We really do. Yes, correct. Mr. Vanderbilt. And then his son actually improved on it. Right. Vanderbilt Sr. was the one who was the brainchild of it. And he laid the foundation. But the son was the one apparently that really amped it up, really brought it to fruition. Apparently, let me see. It was originally, it went 45 miles from Queens to Ronkonkoma. So it actually ended where Motor Parkway terminates at like Roseville. Apparently that was the end of the race. But it ran from Queens to Ronkonkoma, built initially by the senior Vanderbilt. And then Junior was the one that actually improved it. All right, this is pretty cool. This actually, I didn't know to see that. It was a dirt road for a few years after the old man, and then the son got involved, and he improved it. He put cement down. He put barriers in. They had raised turns and everything, and he put all kind. Apparently, he was able to get investors to the tune of like $2 million to put up some money, and then they made the improvements, and it actually became a somewhat of a racetrack. And it was mostly for the wealthy. I mean, again, we're talking early 1900s here. Cool stuff, right?
Very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So listen, we all know we got Billy Joel and we got Zebra and we got musical, but it's cool to know that we got our roots in driving too, right? Racing and now also roads, right? So Motor Parkway was the first road. Think about that, folks. First road in America that was just dedicated to cars. Apparently, from what I was able to discern, all the other roads which existed, which were kind of primitive back then anyway, were always a mix. So, I mean, check it out, right? You're driving a car and you come across a horse. I mean, it was according to what I read, it was like pandemonium on the roads all the time. People were getting hit. Things would get...
Welcome to the East End.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we probably got a version of the early 1900s on the East End. That's very good. That's excellent, Jeff. All right, Jeff, stay on the line, and my engineer will capture some of your vitals, and we're going to get you out some really cool stuff, like a $15 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. All right, thank you very much, Jeff, for listening.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thanks.
All right, folks, so there you go. Like I said, we got the smartest listeners here. Jeff took a pop shot at it, and he got it. All right, cool stuff. If anybody else wants to call in and add to that, we like to give away free stuff. We like to hear from the folks. So 631-451-1039. We're going to add a primer onto this. Can anybody tell me the date that it opened? All right. It opened on a specific date and the date that it closed. All right. I'll tell you, it was the early 1900s that it opened and toward I'd say probably middle of the 1900s. I'm gonna give you a hint there at the end about where it closed. It was pretty close to a famous or maybe infamous world war that was coming. All right. So let me see if anybody out there wants to help Jeff out. All right. Jeff gave us the name of the road. Now we're looking for somebody to take a shot or stab at in the dark here about when it opened. We're going to be flexible with the answer. About when it opened and about when it closed. All right, Motor Parkway was the road. We want to know when it opened and when it closed. 631-451-1039. All right, cool stuff. I got some more history on that, too. There's about 40 seconds left here. When we start the next segment, I'll run through some more history on this. It's really cool stuff. I think you'll find it entertaining and knowledgeable, too. So you get entertainment and you get educated here. What can I say?
Little driving on a Saturday night. Come walk with me. Gonna dance the day away. Jenny was sweet. She always smiled for the people she meets.
For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. All right, we love to let that tune play out a little bit on the intro here to get everybody revved up. All right, we're driving, all right? We're not driving on a Saturday night. It's going to be a Tuesday night, but what the heck, right? It's still a pick-you-up song. Love it. Brings me back to the 231 days, drag racing at the end of 231. Trying to impress the ladies. All right, it was a lot of fun then, and it's still a lot of fun now. Hey, 631-451-1039. All right, that brings you into the studio. If you got something on your mind, you want to be part of the show like Jeff was. Jeff took a crack at that question of the day. Thank you very much, Jeff. He's going to have himself some free stuff, all right, including that nice gift card that we like to give out. Hey, folks, we are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Anchor, and Spotify. All right, so if those are the things that you like to seek out information, all right, or entertainment. All right, we do provide entertainment. I think we do. I think me doing some of those videos might be entertaining. I'm definitely not a professional videographer there, but at any rate, Instagram's a really cool feature there for me. I do put up videos there. I know we've been a little slack there, but I promise you we're coming back hot and heavy. All right, I'm going to be putting together a really cool video, maybe about a Tesla, all right, being assembled in our shop. So keep your eyes and your ears peeled. All right, Instagram. I like to pop up there when I got something to say that's important for the folks. All right, our Facebook page, thanks to Anthony, is very dynamic. All right, you can find a lot of stuff there. We like to really promote our client businesses there as well. Anthony does a great job with that. So remember, folks, Crash Course Radio is the mouthpiece of Collision Services Network. All right, when you need a body shop, all right, or you need a reliable, trustworthy injury firm, all right, or even for that matter, if you need insurance, you need to go to collisionservicenetwork.com or give us a call at 631-452, all right, 2029, and we are going to fix you up and make sure that you are going to the right place, all right? And it is more important today than ever before. You know, we stress that here all the time on Crash Course. It just is. Okay, you can't rely on throwing a lawn dart at the wall and seeing where it lands. All right, and word of mouth's not too great either, folks. All right, it really isn't. All right, your buddy or your uncle, your aunt or your brother, they may have had their car fixed at somebody's body shop, and he's a great guy, came out great. Only problem is you're not driving that car. Your car is some new car with all this technology, or it's got 4 different types of material on it. You know, do they know how to fix it? Are they even certified? Right? We had Chandler on, Chandler Ravone from V&J Auto Body. All right, and we had a little discussion on the air there about the importance of certifications and making sure that a shop is certified to even repair a certain vehicle and what that means to you as the consumer. Right? What does that mean to you? I mean, it could mean a nightmare if they're not. They may not have access to parts. Folks, it's always about the money, right? Remember that? Follow the money. Body shop industry, unfortunately, is really driven by that. All right, you're going to get a guy who's going to wave you in. Come on in. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to fix that Maserati. I'll fix that Corvette ZR, whatever. And, just park it in there. Yeah, and meanwhile, the guy knows straight up he's probably not going to be able to get the parts and everything else. But he's going to take the job and, make a whole shebang and try and hang on to it. Because why? Because it's money. It's money, all right? But you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that person. All right, so you make sure that you know who's fixing your car. All right, CollisionServiceNetwork.com is going to help you to make sure you know who's fixing it and why they're fixing it the way they, and most importantly, they're going to fix it what? The way you want it, right? Consistent with industry standards and the way you want it to come out. Not concerning with the insurance company, all right? And they're going to represent your interests and not the interests of the insurance companies. All right, so let's get to some important stuff here. The question of the day, all right? What was the famous road on Long Island? All right, Jeff answered it, but, we like giving free stuff away, so if somebody wants to add to that, if they have a little something to add, it was Motor Parkway, all right? But, all right, I threw a gauntlet down. I went one step further. I need somebody to call in. Let me know the date. There's an exact date. Believe it or not, there's an exact date that this road opened. I can't believe it, but that's how they were back then. They wrote down everything was a fair or a bazaar or a celebration. You open the road, they probably had a ribbon cutting thing with who knows who there. But anyway, there was a specific day, right, early 1900s, that this road was open here on Long Island, all right, and a specific time that it closed, right? And I'll give you a little help on the closing. It was quite close to a very famous war, World War II. How's that? All right, 631-451-1039. All right, Jeff answered the road problem. We want to know when the road was open and when it closed. Two very important dates there. All right, so here's something really important. All right, uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. Do you need it? Well, in New York State says you do. All right, not every state does, though. All right, believe it or not, only about half of the states in the union, all right, are mandatory uninsured, underinsured motorists. All right, New York State, they require it. All right, that's because in New York State, they treat insurance like a privilege or a right instead of, a commodity. What can I tell you? That being said, all right, there are minimums, folks. All right, so even though you're going to have it, you're going to have the minimum. And we all know what the word minimum means, right? Minimum means not a lot to you if you need it. All right, so minimums aren't really good. All right, I don't think minimums are very good at all in the when it comes to insurance. Right, you're insuring in this case here, you're insuring your well-being. Uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, folks. You're insuring your well-being, your physical and mental well-being, against the prospects that a person who, through their negligence, all right, creams you. And now you're physically and perhaps mentally damaged. But guess what? Not only did they not give a darn about how they were driving, but they didn't give a damn about getting insurance or enough of it. Now what are you going to do? All right? You're going to sue them? Good luck. It's been my experience sitting behind a claims desk that most of these people that do that, they don't have anything. So you ain't getting anything. And even if they have something, all right, and you want to get into litigation, folks, let me tell you, I've seen it. We had a litigation unit. Every insurance company has a litigation department. It's a long, nasty, drawn-out process, costs a lot of money, and when you get to the end of the road, guess what? You get nothing. You still get nothing, right? Because all you can do is attach liens and this and that and judgments, and then they sit back and they get the last laugh. They don't sell anything. They don't buy anything. They don't do anything for the rest of their life, and you get nothing. All right? So don't be that person. All right. Say you heard it here. Crash course. Uninsured, underinsured motorists. Everybody pick up the phone tomorrow. Call your broker, your agent, whoever it is that gets your insurance. All right. You can give DKM Risk up in Hauppauge, and Lisa and her team will help you out. DKM Risk Partners up in Hauppauge. All right. Lisa and the crew up there. Great people. All right. Very smart people. All right, and they want to help you make sure that you have the coverage you need and the coverage you can afford. All right, and uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage, very important, folks. All right, now I had a personal experience with this, okay? Personal experience. If you've been following the show, you know that yours truly was involved in a moderately severe auto accident. And, listen, if you've been involved in an accident, we all know, right? We probably know somebody who has been. It's a headache. It's an inconvenience. It's a huge disruption to your life, all right, and all the other things that go along with it. God forbid you're injured, okay? This just adds a whole other dynamic to that, all right? Whole other dynamic. Now, I know that from a professional standpoint, being a guy that handled these things, bodily injury cases, all right, I had to deal with these people, all right? It's a very emotionally upsetting, obviously, and then, of course, you have to deal with the physicality of it, all right? If there's therapy involved, there's surgery involved, medications, or, maybe, God forbid, you're going to be disabled to some extent for the rest of your life. All these things are horrible enough, but imagine that this happens to you, and then you find out, oh, the guy that ran into you, he don't have anything. So now what are you going to do? Well, if you listen to the show, you're going to say, I remember Peter Crouch on Crash Course telling me to make sure I have my uninsured and underinsured motorist coverages as high as they could be, and they were, for me. All right, and when we come back, we'll start the last segment off with me finishing up about my personal experience with that coverage, and I'll tell you why it was so important for me.
Doing alright. A little driving on a Saturday night. Come walk me. Gonna dance the day away. Jenny was sweet. Doing alright. A little driving.
All right, I'm feeling all right. Welcome back. Crash Course Radio, the one and only radio show dedicated to promoting and supporting the privately owned and operated auto body industry across the great fruited plain of Long Island. Hopefully in the near future, the entire state. But most importantly, get to speak to the folks, educating you guys out there, right? Giving you knowledge and information you need and can use and advice you can trust. And we love doing that every Tuesday afternoon here. So we're in the final segment here. Time flies when you're having a good time. We always try and have a good time here at Crash Course. Anybody want to give it a shot? 631-451-1039. Call in here, get yourself something nice. All right, we want to know when Motor Parkway. Jeff called in earlier, got the answer to the question of the day, and then we sweetened the pot a little bit. All right, anybody want to give it a shot? Motor Parkway, when did it open and when did it close? We're looking for dates. 19-something and 19-something. All right, and I tightened it up a little even more for you there. All right, it closed very close to a World War II. All right, so we like to help the folks out because we like to give away stuff. 631-451-1039. We're going to be flexible on that answer too. We're not looking for pinpoint. Pinpoint would be nice, but we'll give you some flexibility there. Hey, folks, I was talking about something very important though. Right, that's what we like to do. Right, get the information out, the knowledge out there, things you really need to be aware of, things that I know nobody thinks about because insurance is not exciting. Right, and auto body and collision, not something that we think enough about. It does happen. It happens more frequently than we probably like to admit to. And, we're hoping to stir the public conscience here to get people to start thinking about that like you think about mechanics, right? Everybody knows where to go for that. And now after hearing the show, you're going to know where to go for collision and auto body, and that's collisionservicenetwork.com. And get familiar with one of our client businesses there, one of our amazing network partners. And they will be able to help you out. All right? But talking on a very important subject here, folks, uninsured, underinsured motorist code. Now, before I got involved in the insurance industry, I didn't know what the heck that was, right? Uninsured, underinsured, overinsured, not insured. But it's not funny, okay? And I found out just how not funny it is because guess what? I had my auto accident, And I'm not going to get into specifics here because, my case is still open. But unfortunately, I got injured. I had multiple injuries. Went forward, did what we had to do. I secured the services of an attorney. And I think we have a caller. Is that what you're trying to tell us? All right.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Who do we got on the phone?
What?
Who we talking to there? Who do we got? What's your name?
Paul from Brinkley Square.
Hey, Paul, thanks for joining the show, man. What do you got? You want to take a shot at the question? The second part?
1908.
Nice!
1908 was it, and then 1938 was closed.
I tell you, folks, I don't know what to tell you. Give that man a round of applause. That's it. That's it, my man. We've got... Very good, very good. Yes, sir. Those are the dates. Yes, 1908, they made a big to-do about it, and then 1938 it closed.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Paul.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, what's up, man? Listen, we got a little bit of a bad connection, so before we go, I want you to give your vitals to my engineer, and we're going to get something nice out to you, all right? You hit it right out of the park, my man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, there you go, folks. What can I tell you? Paul had a little bit of a bad connection here. We didn't want to lose him. Make sure he gets his free stuff. 1908, 1938. That was it. In 1908, it opened. 1938, it closed. Now, interesting. I got about 5 minutes, but I want to get this out because I think people are going to find this really cool. This is cool stuff. So, just like what happens today, well, guess what? The $2 million that they got to build the road, it ended up being $6 million. So, true to form, the Vanderbilts, they came up with a cool idea. Toll road. Even back in 1908. So they ended up creating a toll road. Folks, this is so cool. Vanderbilt Jr. said, I wanted to make a road that could be just dedicated to cars where they didn't have to worry about distractions, the pedestrians, or horses or anything, and people could have a good time. And most importantly, no authorities. So he bought the road, right? He paid for the road. It was his road. It was a private road. So they put tolls on there. So back in 1908, it was $2. Now think about that. $2 in 1908. That equates to $45 today. Can you imagine somebody told you have to pay me $45 to drive on Motor Parkway? You'd run the guy over. I know I would. And then in 1912, it dropped down to $1.50. 1917, it went to $1. And then in the 1930s, it was 40 cents. All right? Pretty wild stuff. So the Vanderbilts, there you go. They find ways to make money, don't they? I mean, that's what millionaires, billionaires do. They get creative when it comes to finances, and they make money. So we knew that the budget the building of the road went way over budget. I mean, I don't know what they were doing. I mean, $2 million to $6 million. That's absurd, even by today's standards. And he had to think outside the box and try and recover some of that money, right? So they made it a toll road. Now, things were a lot different back then. Most of the people partaking in this stuff were millionaires, right? And interestingly enough, Mr. Marriott, yes, that's it, Mr. Marriott, the guy who originally was the developer of the Marriott hotels and stuff, he pointed out that cars were really a luxury. They weren't looked at as a necessity. Nobody was commuting to work. So it was interesting that it really became like a kind of a hobby thing. And here's how some of the investors got involved. All right, I don't know if everybody's aware of the Gold Coast. We might talk about this next week a little bit. But apparently, a lot of these guys jumped on board because they thought that a road would raise property values along the Gold Coast. Now, Long Island was very, very famous. Again, it's really cool stuff you find out here. So the Gold Coast was a section in Nassau County where apparently we had the richest, think about this, the richest zip codes in America were here right on Long Island. No joke, folks. And it was called the Gold Coast. All right, so they thought that this road was going to increase property value. I don't know if it did or it didn't, but that's how a lot of these investor guys jumped on the bandwagon with that. And if you were a regular guy and you really were into your car and you're racing, you could purchase a medallion. You could ride scot-free all year. God knows what that medallion probably cost. All right, but cars back then was seen mostly as a leisure thing, and it was mostly a plaything for the rich. All right. They said that they would joke it was, it allowed them to escape the tyranny of the railroads. All right. Which was the major form of transportation. All right. So thank you very much, callers, for that. We appreciate it. Please continue to listen to the one and only Crash Course. But folks, we got about 2 minutes. I want to finish up here with the uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage, all right? Because it happened to me and it can happen to you. All right, went to present our case, didn't work out too well. Turns out the party that hit me, had a fancy car, apparently some money, and that type of thing, lived in an affluent area, but they didn't think that, I guess they didn't think it was that important to be covered. I wish they would have thought about that it was important the way they drive, because they went ahead and caused a lot of damage and a lot of harm, all right? But because of the uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, all right, it did offer an option for me, all right, because I was responsible and I had a lot of coverage there. All right, so this, I hope that helps illustrate the importance, because this is a real life situation I'm telling you here that I found myself in. I was injured. All right, I was injured. All right, and unfortunately, I didn't really have a lot of good options when we found out what was going on with the party that hit us. So, but thank God that I was responsible, I was educated, and I made certain that that my coverages, my policies, were the highest I could afford. All right, and as a result, I had a real viable option to proceed. But folks, if you don't take this serious and you don't look into this, this could happen to you. All right, so everybody should be on the phone tomorrow, dialing their agent, dialing their broker, and checking your uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage. Very important. I'm going to dig deeper into this next Tuesday, all right? So tune in next Tuesday, all right? And we'll continue our discussion on that. All right, here comes the music. Driver's seat, folks. I'm telling you, is that not apropos for Long Island? All right, we are in the driver's seat all the time. All right, so I will see everybody next week. Everybody have a good week. Weekend looks crappy, but the rest of the week looks okay. All right, everybody drive safe. We will be back next Tuesday.